A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I want A plus English because it's so much fun. English education for you and everyone, so come along. Learn some grammar, learn a phrase, learn something new every day. Learn the A plus way. Hey, it's time to start the show. Are you ready? Good, 'cause here we go. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I want A plus English.
Hello everyone and welcome back to A Plus English. I'm Adam.
And I'm Elsie.
So everyone, in our last episode, we read about Alice. She grew up by the sea and saw ships sail all the time. Her grandfather was an artist and told her, stories of faraway places. Alice dreamed of visiting them and living by the sea when she grew older. But her grandfather said, you must make the world beautiful.
Right, his words inspired Alice. She didn't just want to travel and live by the sea. She wanted to make a difference. So like the loopings she loved.
Exactly. She had big dreams, just like her grandfather, and took her grandfather's advice, stayed with her throughout her life. So that little thing, make the world beautiful, it stayed with her in the back of her mind. Now, everyone, let's talk about today's warm-up question. Since Alice wants to travel to all these faraway places, our warm-up question is, where in the world would you like to visit and why?
I'd love to go to Italy.
Oh, why would you want to go to Italy?
I've always been, fascinated by the art, history, and architecture there.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And plus, the food is amazing.
Yeah, the food is amazing.
I think that's the main reason why I want to go there.
I know. We would put on an extra couple kg while we were in Italy.
Yeah.
Right? Eat all the pasta, pizza, everything like that. That's a good place to visit. I'd like to go there too.
And you? I know you want to go to Egypt.
Yes, that is one of my favorite. We would say on my bucket list. It's a place I want to go before I die. Is Egypt. I want to see all the pyramids. I want to take a camel ride maybe in the desert. I want to see all the things that Egypt has to offer, and I think it would be really unique. But I don't think I've ever eaten Egyptian food. So that would also be a nice thing to try as well. All right, everyone, let's get into our teaching for today.
Miss Rumphius. Warm-up question. Where in the world would you like to visit? Why?
Alice grew up and people called her Miss Rumphius. She worked in a library and dreamed of traveling. Finally, she went to an island. There she met the king of a fishing town and his wife. They gave her a gift. It said, "You will always remain in my heart."
Our article starts by saying Alice grew up and people called her Miss Rumphius.
Okay, so Miss Rumphius is kind of like her nickname, right?
Yeah, I suppose so, yeah.
Have you ever had a nickname?
A nickname.
I know one. You don't remember?
Yeah, I did when I was little. You probably heard it from my sister. So I used to be very skinny, and when I was smaller, I also had a big head. Now this is me when I was 8 years old. So at the time, my sisters would call me Q-tip for a while.
In case you don't know what a Q-tip is, Q-tip 就是棉花棒.
Right.
所以头在这里.
Exactly. So that was my nickname when I was growing up, when I was between the ages of 5 to like 10.
I'll start calling you, Q-tip.
No, please don't. I'd rather not have that. I don't want that name anymore. All right, so jumping back to our article, everyone, it says she worked in a library and dreamed of traveling.
Okay, so if she worked in a library, she would be called a librarian, right?
Yeah, she would be a librarian. And if you are working with books all day, I'm sure you would dream of traveling far and wide.
Yeah, and how important is traveling and seeing new places to you?
Well, look I'm in Taiwan, all the way from the Midwest in the United States, so traveling is very important to me. I think that it's a good education for everyone out there is to get out and travel. You see more of the world, and you realize people are just like you no matter where you go. All right, so jumping back to Miss Rumphius, it says, finally, she went to an island.
Ooh, an island like Taiwan.
Yeah, I wonder if it was a big island or a small island. Well, in this island, it says, there she met the king of a fishing town and his wife.
That must have been an interesting encounter.
Yeah.
Have you ever met someone famous or important?
I've met a famous person once, a famous actor. Once when I was, for a short time, living in Los Angeles. And I spoke to him, and he was he was a nice person. Usually those actors and actresses, they are kind of,
Who was it?
It was Orlando Bloom.
奥兰多布鲁
yeah.
就是魔戒里面那个精灵嘛，是吗？
Yeah, he was very nice
Oh.
and gave me some advice, and I talked to him about making movies, and that was pretty fun.
Cool.
All right, so jumping back now, it says, they gave her a gift. It said, you will always remain in my heart.
Remain 这个动词是停留或是继续存在，所以礼物上说 You will always remain in my heart.
Oh, thank you.
你会永远在我的心中存在。It's a beautiful sentence.
It really is.
After that, Miss Rumphius traveled to many places and made many friends. She climbed tall, snowy mountains. She crossed jungles and deserts and saw many kinds of animals. However, she hurt her back when she was riding a camel.
That was foolish.
She said,
Maybe it is time to live by the sea.
So after that, it says, after that, Miss Rumphius traveled to many places and made many friends.
Wow, she's so cool. What do you think she did and saw?
I don't know, man. It'd be kind of interesting to, think of all the different things she saw and all the different places she went. But our article says she climbed tall, snowy mountains.
Okay.
She crossed jungles and deserts and saw many kinds of animals.
By the way, jungle 这个名词呢是热带丛林。So she climbed some mountains. She went into a jungle.
Not just mountains, but snowy mountains.
Oh, snowy mountains.
Yeah.
I'm impressed with her bravery. I don't think I would travel all by myself like her.
Right? Yeah, she was brave. She did it all by herself. And, she's saying, hey, I can do this, and just like you guys too, when you get older, you can maybe travel to faraway places and see how exciting it can be.
And she was willing to try different things.
Exactly. And so, but we learned that it wasn't all good times. So maybe there was something that happened. Our story says, however, she hurt her back when she was riding a camel.
Oh, you mentioned you wanted to ride a camel in Egypt.
Yeah, I did.
Camel 这个名词呢就是骆驼。So you have never ridden a camel before, right?
I have never ridden a camel before, but I have ridden other kinds of animals.
Like horse?
Yes, I've ridden a horse. Like I said, never a camel, but we might get in trouble for this, but we'll
never do that again.
We also rode elephants
when we were too
years
young.
and years ago. But then we felt bad about riding them.
Yeah,
right?
don't do it.
Yeah.
Nope.
Okay, so you do remember riding them. And then the next time we went to visit, we just petted them. We didn't ride them.
No.
Okay. So she fell down off of a camel, or she got hurt from riding a camel. And she says in our article, That was foolish, she said. Maybe it is time to live by the sea.
Okay, so she's saying she has had her fun.
Yeah.
And that's enough. And I'm going to go to live by the sea.
Yes.
Okay, and now maybe it is time to, for her to relax a bit more.
Yeah, she wants to maybe settle down. She's been to all these faraway places. We don't know how long that took. Maybe it took years and years and years. And finally, she's ready to say, oh, okay, let's just take it easy and live by the sea.
Okay, 那现在我们要到单字的部分咯。今天的第一个单字是个形容词 snowy， 好，下雪的或是多雪的，你会发现它是前面一个 snow， 好，雪加上字尾的 y 组成的形容词。那像是简单的问候天气啦 ，How's the weather? Oh, it's snowy， 好，是下雪的状态。那同样的字还有比如说 it's sunny 好是晴朗的状态 it's rainy 是下雨的状态还有 it's windy 风很大还有就是 foggy 那就是雾很厚很浓那单字例句给的是呢 During snowy winters the government closes the road through the forest 在多雪的冬天政府会封闭穿越森林的道路那第二个单字呢是 cross这个动词指的是跨越或是横越 cross the street 那就是跨越街道那就是我们说的过街它过马路的话可以是 cross the road cross the road 那另外 cross the river 好那就是你去游泳渡河好或者是呢你走在桥上你渡河 cross one's fingers 那是什么呢就是你祈求好运或是希望某事会成功那比如说呢我们可以讲 I'm crossing my fingers that I'll get the job 我希望我能够得到那份工作好我在期待我在祈祷那单字例句给的是呢 You have to cross the street to get to that library over there 你必须要穿过这条街才能够到达那边那座图书馆那第三个例句呢是 desert 这个名词指的是沙漠 A desert is often covered with sand 沙子还有 rocks岩石那另外我们说的 cross 也可以用来搭配The desert, cross the desert 那就是横渡沙漠那沙漠中的绿洲啊是 oasis 那单词例句给的是呢 There are deserts all over this country because the weather is hot and dry 这个国家遍布着沙漠因为气候炎热又干燥那最后一个单字是 foolish 这个形容词指的是傻的或是愚蠢的那前面你会看到 fool F-O-O-L 这个名词它指的是傻子然后再到字尾加上ish 组成的形容词那当我们说某人做出某事是愚蠢的主词可以用上虚主词 it 加上 be 动词加上 foolish of somebody to do something For example, it was foolish of me to make such a decision. 我做出这样的决定真的是很愚蠢。那我们也可以说什么呢？也可以把主词放在句首，加上 be 动词，加上 foolish to do something。像是呢 He was foolish to buy the flowers from that old woman. They were way too expensive. 他傻傻的跟那位老妇人买花实在是太贵了。那单字例句提供的是呢 Don't look at your phone when you are driving a car. That's a foolish thing to do. 开车的时候不要盯着你的手机，那是个愚蠢的行为。那 Magic Box 里头呢，我们要看到的是过去进行式的用法，它用来描述过去某一个时刻或是某段时间内正在发生的动作。那通常会看到 be 动词过去式 was were 加上动词的现在分词，也就是 verb ing. For example, she was singing while he was playing the guitar. 他在唱歌，他在弹吉他。还有像是 they were having dinner when the phone rang. 电话响起的时候，他们正在吃晚餐。
Review time.
All right, now everyone, it is our review time. We will review some of the words that we learned throughout the article, and then we will take turns using those vocabulary words to tell an experience. So the first vocabulary word we see is snowy.
形容词下雪的，多雪的。
The next we see is to cross or cross.
动词跨越，横越。
The next word, desert.
名词沙漠。
And the last word, foolish.
形容词，傻的、愚蠢的。
Okay, so what we want to do is use one of those words to tell an experience.
Okay.
So can you think of any of those words and then tell us experience, Ellison?
I think I can. You want me to go first?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Okay. Last winter, I went to the mountains.
Okay.
It was so snowy
Okay.
that I couldn't see anything at first because of the snowstorm.
Okay, very good. So you use snowy to describe that experience going up the mountain.
下雪的。
Okay. All right, well, that sounds intense. Now my turn. I once had to blank, or we could say cross a river during a hike, and the current was so strong, I almost fell in.
Okay.
So I kind of gave you the answer to that. Do you remember the word that I
Cross.
just used? Yeah, I crossed the river. All right,
Okay, so my turn, right?
your turn.
Speaking of dangerous places, I've always wanted to visit a desert. I've heard they are beautiful, but also harsh and hot.
Oh, okay. So you said desert. Taiwan doesn't have any deserts, do they?
No.
No. They do, I know, in America, in China, Africa, there's some deserts. Russia, there's also some deserts.
Yes.
Okay. All right. And the last one, I mean, deserts can be really cool, but, you know, they're kind of hard to like get around and you kind of lose your way. All right, so for mine, I will say, once I did something foolish when I didn't bring enough water for a long hike in the desert. It was a bad decision.
Oh, okay. So you were foolish.
I was foolish.
Yeah.
Very good.
好，那今天的课程就到这边了。还喜欢今天的内容吗？记得按赞、订阅、开启小铃铛，你就不会错过任何精彩的内容喽。我们明天见啦，拜拜。
Bye-bye.